What's up guys, Abod here and this is Whilelab YouTube channel. And this is the fourth video in interview preparation kit with Python. So in this video we are going to solve the fourth challenge in the warm-up challenges, and it's the counting valleys challenge. So let's first understand the question. So an avid hiker keeps meticulous records of their hikes during the last hike, and that took exactly steps. So this is like x steps, we don't know yet. So for every step it was noted if it was an uphill, so if they went up it would be u, if it's a downhill or if they go down it would be d step. Hikes always start at and end at the sea level, and each step up or down represents 1 unit in altitude, change in altitude. So every step is they either go up or they go down. So we define the following terms. A mountain. So a mountain is a sequence of consecutive steps. So they are in a sequence, a steps in a sequence, a consecutive sequence above sea level, and it starts with an up and ends with a step down to the sea level. So we start up from sea level and we end with a step 2 going back to the sea level. This is a mountain. A valley is a sequence of the consecutive steps below sea level. So we start with a step down and we end with a step up. Given the sequence of up and down steps during a hike, find and print the number of valleys walked through. So we want to return how many valleys did this hiker went through. So the hiker first enters a valley 2 units deep, then they climb out and up into a mountain 2 units high. Finally, the hiker returns to sea level and ends the hike. So for this, so if we would draw this, alright, so if we would draw this, as you can see here, we have, so we start at sea level, okay, so we go down one step, then go down a second step based on those D's, then we would go up one step, okay, can't control this with the mouse, but anyway, then we go up again back to the sea level, then we would go up again and up again, then we would go down and down back to the sea level. So this is the sea level. So those two steps under, this is one valley. So if we change this color, we have here a valley because it started with a step down and ends with a step up, and this is a mountain. So we want to count how many valleys did the hiker go. In this scenario, it's one valley. So let's reset this. Okay. So the function description, it would give us tips and would give us a string, which is, as we just talked about, which it would look something like this. So right, so let's take this example and for me to explain it for you. So we have up. Okay, let's get back the size. Okay, so we'd start at sea level, we would go up one step, and then we'd go down, 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 then up one step, then down, then up, up. Alright, this does not look right to me. So we have down, 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 yep, then we have up, up, and we are back at sea level. So here we have a mountain, here we have a valley, so we should return one valley, as we can see over here. And we can see it drawn, which looks like us, or looks like ours. Mountain, valley, then up, then down, then sea level, as you can see over here. So how we are going to approach this? First is change the code editor to Python, change the theme to dark, and here is how are we going to approach this. First, we would need to store, okay, we need to store the values we've gone through, okay. So we'll call this v. We would start this as 0. We want to check what is the level we're in, and we want to check if we are in valley or not. Alright, so this is so messed up. Okay, never mind. So here we would need, as we've said, valleys counter. We'd start at 0. We have the level. We also start at 0, which is the sea level, and we want to check if we are in valley. which would be a boolean of false because we start at sea level, so we are not in valley. Now what we want to do is for each step in the path, which would represent if we are going up or down. So if we are going up, so if the step we are in is u, then we want to go and increase the level, so increase it by 1. So if we go up, we increase the level by 1, else, which means we are going down, so we will decrease the level by 1. Now this should give us an accurate representation of what level we're in. So now we want to check, or we want to update. If we are in valley, we want to make sure it's true, and we want to increase the valleys counter for each time we are in valley. So how do we know if we are in valley? We want to check two things. First, we are under. Okay, we can check if we are in valley by checking if the level is less than 0, right? Because if it's less than 0, then we are sure in valley. But since we are in a loop, we don't want to increase. So if we would increase the valleys counter by 1 right now, it would keep increasing for each step that we are under 0. But we only want to increase the valleys counter by 1 until we get into another valley. How does that reset? Is if we got back to the sea level and then went down another valley, we want then increase the valleys counter, not every time the level is under 0. So how we confirm that? We say and in valley is and not in valley. So we want to make sure we are not already in valley, and if this executed, we want to change in valley to be true. So if level, so here we're saying if level got below 0 and we are not in valley, then change in value to be true, so we would be in valley, and increase the valleys counter by 1. Now that's great and all, but now we want to make sure if we got back to 0, the in valley gets, so the level would be updated automatically, but in valley will not. So we want to do another if statement that would check if level is equals 0, that means we got back to the sea level, then in valley would equal false because we are not in valley anymore. And after all of this, outside the for loop, we just return the valleys counter. And this should do it. Let's run the code. Perfect. Let's submit the code. Nice, congrats. That's it for this video. Make sure to check the full playlist as you can see in the end screen, and let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, thank you for watching, and peace out.